What's up guys, Luis here from Alibi Security, and today I'm going to talk about setting up and configuring our Dual-Lens PTZ camera. This camera is really cool because it does come with a lot of smart features that you can link the panoramic camera and the PTZ together. A little bit about the hardware of this camera. It does come with a mount that is you can do a 90-degree mount, and you can also straighten this out by loosening the screw, and it will be a ceiling mount as well. On the left side of the panoramic camera, there is a small dial there that you can use to adjust the panoramic image slightly if you want to bring it up or down a little bit. And on the bottom here, obviously you have the PTZ camera. On the back side, there is a speaker on this camera that you can use to display audio message while there is some kind of VCA detection happening. And on the front, you actually have your IR lights, and you have some strobes here that you can use for when there is a person or vehicle detected. You can actually set those strobes to go off. It also comes with dual mics to give you that really good recording sound. I know a lot of times cameras with single mics don't really have the best audio recording. This guy really does have some pretty good audio recording with the dual mic stereo sound. And finally, talking about the connections of the camera, there is a single cable that goes to your NVR or your PoE switch for power. So both of these cameras are actually running under one cable, and there is a 12-volt DC power option if you want to power it that way as well. Before we get started on setting up this camera, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get notified when new videos are available. Okay, so let's get started on the configuration of the camera. What we're going to do here is we're going to add it to the recorder through a network. So my camera is connected to a PoE switch. So all I need to do is log into the unit, which is a 32 channel for me, and I will add this camera. Actually, I'll add both channels to this unit. So let me show you how to do that real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the NVR. The first way is the easiest way to me, is to add it using the auto search option. So as you can see, I'm at the live view section of the NVR. All I need to do is go to setup. And on the left-hand side, I'll go to camera. And right here where it says auto search, I'm going to select that. And that's going to bring up all the available cameras on your network. I'm going to scroll down to the camera that I want to add here, which is the ALI PZ20 LUZAI. And this is the camera here, the 192.168.10.153. I'm going to select that camera, and I'm going to hit OK. And it'll give you a little dialog box there that says device added completely. We'll hit OK. And we'll give this a second to connect. And keep in mind that this camera is directly out of the box plugged into the network. So it's going to sync up using all the default passwords, so you don't have to really mess with the passwords of the camera. And if I hit refresh here, you can see that both channels are now online. And this is where I want to talk about adding the camera via the plug and play process. So you can plug it directly into one of our NVRs, and the image will pop up on your NVR. What you need to do after that is exactly what we're going to do here. So what we need to do is add the camera again onto a separate channel of the NVR. And right here where it says remote camera ID, we're going to choose number 2 instead of 1. So this camera has 2 remote IDs. The first one is the wide angle lens. The second one is the PTZ. So we need to add the second one. So even if you had to plug and play, you want to make sure you have a channel available to add the second remote camera ID to. So if you are on a plug and play NVR, you can just select that channel, hit modify. Right, we can you'll hit modify. You'll actually type the same address over, whatever the 172 address is that the NVR gave it. And then down here, you would choose remote camera ID number 2. It's very similar to what I'm about to do. I'm going to hit the add button, and I'm going to type the address again, 10.153, the username and password to the camera. And where it says total camera number, we're just going to choose number 2 right there. I'm not going to worry about these select camera option. And we're going to hit save. And as you notice here under remote camera ID, it does have the number 2 there. So once this syncs up here, let me hit the refresh button. Now we have remote camera ID 1 and 2. So now if I go to the live view, I will have 2 cameras listed here, D1 and D2, because they're assigned to channel 1 and 2. And Let me switch this to main so we can get some good quality images here. And then if I hit the play button here, you can see that I have both the wide angle here on the left and the PTZ on the right. And if I expand the PTZ menu here, I can select this camera and actually move it around, as you can see there. And kind of what I was talking about before, this camera does have a really wide angle lens for a PTZ. So like you just scroll in with your mouse, you can zoom in or out. But that's kind of not what we're worried about here. We all know how PTZs work. What we're really worried about, or what we really want to know, is how to link these guys together. So linking these two cameras together is going to be done on the camera level. So if you're plug and play, you can go to setup and camera and then hit the access button here on the right hand side, and that will take you to the camera login. I have the camera pulled up here because I do have it connected to a PoE switch, and I'm going to go ahead and log in. And this is kind of where all the magic's going to happen. This is where all the cool stuff's going to happen, where we're going to sync up the PTZ with the wide angle and use some VCA features to kind of get them working together. So here we'll just go to setup. And on the left-hand side, we're going to go to intelligent. And the first thing we want to do is calibrate the camera. And there's two ways you can calibrate the camera. So under panoramic linkage, you want to select the enable panoramic linkage option. Go ahead and hit save there. And under calibration, so we'll hit the auto calibration button here. And if this is not highlighted for you, you can hit finish calibration and then select next and then one click calibrate. And that will run through a series of, so what it's doing, it puts these little waypoints on the wide angle lens, and the PTZ calibrates to those points. So as you can see, it's going to each one of those points here. And once it reaches all of those points, the calibration will be done. And once that is done, you can hit finish here, and the camera is now calibrated. So if you want to do a manual calibration, what you need to do is select manual calibrate. And these coordinates are here from the auto calibration, so we'll select them all and hit delete. So what we need to do here is just add our own coordinates. So we'll hit the add button, and I'll select up here, and it's gonna zoom in on this area, and then we'll use the PTZ to find that area, which is just left of that light. And you can also kind of use a click and drag option there, and it'll put it as close as it can there. Let's see, right there. And so we'll hit orient, and that will add that point there. And let's say if I want one right here on the corner of this truck, so we'll just select there, and that'll be our second point. So we'll just move this down here. And that's close enough for this demo. We'll hit orient, and that's going to add the second one there. Then we'll go, let's say we want the third one on the window. We'll just move this over. And we'll hit orient there. And I believe the minimum you have to do here on the manual calibration is 6 points. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of those right now. Okay, and once you have those 6 points set and calibrated, you'll hit the finish option here, and that is how you do the manual calibration of this camera. Now moving forward to all the cool features on getting the PTZ and the wide angle to talk to each other. We're gonna do that by using the smart features of the camera. So we'll go to the smart option under intelligent. Obviously you have cross line, enter area, leave area, and intrusion. I'm gonna set up a cross-line demo here. So we'll select cross-line and we'll hit the settings wheel here to go into the line crossing settings. And we're gonna hit the detection rule here. And we're gonna hit plus. That's gonna create a line. And if I just wanna catch anything kind of walking across this way, I can set it there, right or left. And on the right-hand side, you do have options: sensitivity, level, detection object. Fair warning, if this is a very fast area with cars, I wouldn't recommend setting this up. The PTZ is gonna have a hard time keeping up with trying to track those cars. Pedestrians though, non-motor vehicle stuff, that works really well. So for this one, I'm just gonna leave it on pedestrian and we'll hit save there. And that saves that line crossing. The key here is to go to trigger actions and we're gonna select panoramic linkage. So what that does is it tells the line crossing when there's a trigger there to track the object. Some other cool features that we mentioned earlier also is that you can choose an alarm sound or an alarm light to flash while the subject is detected. So if there is a person detected, you can actually go in here and choose a sound to actually have a different sound for different days. But if you really want to look at the sounds, I'll save that here. So panoramic linkage is the main thing you want to do here. So make sure that is checked and that will trigger the PTZ to follow the person or vehicle that's walking around or driving around the parking lot. So if you want to look under video and audio and then under audio and then audio file, it will give you a list of the preset options you have for the camera to kind of do some audio alerts. So it is pretty loud. I could hear it when I was testing it at home. I could hear it through the wall of my house. So you can choose from any of these preset options that you would like here. Or if you would like to import your own, you can actually browse and import a custom message that you would like. So earlier when I got here, I did set the camera up and I did walk around in the parking lot so it could catch me and follow me with the PTZ. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that footage on how the wide angle lens captures the detection and the PTZ will kind of follow in pursuit at that point. So that kind of wraps it all up. This is a really cool camera and it does a lot for just being all in one housing. So the setup can be initially be kind of intimidating because there's two different situations. There's calibration and there's PTZ linkage that you need to do. But honestly, once I dove into it and kind of ran through it a couple times, it really is a pretty easy setup. As always, if you do have any questions, you can reach out to our tech support team and they'll be more than happy to help you. And also make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get notified when new videos like this one are available.